Hello, and welcome to today's show, Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria Burgess, passionate inspirational speaker, author, poet, and entrepreneur. Good morning, and welcome to Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count. I'm delighted that you joined me this morning. Today is Wednesday, December 7th. I want to give a great big thank you to those of you who are listening today. I also want to give a big shout out to all of you listening all around the world. I'm delighted and so grateful that you tuned in. I sure hope you're having a fabulous day today and that you're having a fantastic week, because you know what? In the grand song of the universe, life is so very short. It's short, sweet, and oh so precious. So, I hope you're making a difference in your own life, because when you do, you also make a difference in someone else's life. A lot of folks want to know how to make their life count for something. And they ask me, how do I do that? Well, it's really very simple. Very simple. You make your life count day by day, step by step, moment by moment, every single day. 365, 24/7. That's what Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count, is all about. You can learn more about Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count by visiting the Gloria Burgess website. That's GLORIA, B as in boy, BURGESS.com. That's the Gloria Burgess website, GLORIA, BURGESS.com, or by visiting Facebook, Facebook.com/DR for doctor, DRGLORIA, BURGESS PHD/. Today's show is part 2 of our program, and it's all about seeding and harvesting. If you missed last week's program, be sure to listen to the recording. You can find it in the archives on my page on Talk Network Radio. Just go to www.talknetworkradio.com/Legacy Living, LEGACYLIVING, all smushed together. That's www.talknetworkradio.com/Legacy Living, LEGACYLIVING. Look for the program called Seeding and Harvesting Part 1. Now, today's focus will be on harvesting. Before we dive into today's show, I want to share something really special with you, and it's called Glorious Moments. Glorious Moments. Now, some of you might be thinking I'm saying my first name like Gloria's moment. No, it's glorious, as in glory, glorious moments. Glorious Moments is an opportunity for you to connect with me and to partner with me. And it's also an opportunity for you to get free stuff. All you have to do is send me an email with your all-time favorite inspirational quote or inspirational story. Now, your story has to be a true story. It could be a story about you or someone you know. Here's an example. In fact, it's our story for this week. This is a lovely story from someone near and dear to my heart. It's a story from my husband, John. Hey, John, I'm glad you're one of my listeners. And, along with God, you're one of my biggest supporters. Thank you. So this story is about John, and it happens to be a story about seeding and harvesting. Nice, eh? Now, John is a musical artist and maestro. He sent me a story about his music. In fact, if you tuned in to my very first show on Talk Network Radio, you may recall hearing a bit about John and an exciting new venture we created, a new venture called Music for Transformation. Now, last week, I shared a story from a woman named Abiola from Nigeria. If you recall, Abiola's story was about finding her voice. Well, John's story is about finding his voice. Years ago, many, many years ago, John and I fell in love. Our hearts and souls connected when we were both engaged in music. In fact, we met in music in high school. We were high school sweethearts, but that's another story. Here's John's story. We all have a language. We all have a language that resonates with us. We all have a language that reflects who we are at the core. A language that, when we speak it, that's our true voice. And when we hear it spoken by others, we just click with them. Now, there are many, many languages. For some of us, that language is touch. We just love to be close to people. We love to snuggle. We love to hold hands. We love for our wife or our husband or our boyfriend or girlfriend to rub our back, or maybe to just put their hands on our face and stroke our face. We love the language of touch. Now, some of us love the language of words. That would be me, right? I love words. To me, words are all about listening to stories, listening to the lyrics of songs, listening to poetry. I love to write, to speak, to read. For me, words are like sweet, sweet music to my ears and to my heart. For some of us, we love visuals. We speak the language of sight. When you speak, if this is your language, you say things like, yes, I get the picture, or yes, I see what you mean. You get excited by the world of imagination and visioning. For some of us, we speak and hear in the language of music. That's my husband, John. Now, we can be listening to the same song, and he will ask if I hear the lick the drummer just played, or if I hear the beautiful music being played by the strings. Well, yes, I hear them, but that's not really what I'm paying attention to. What I'm listening to are the words of the song, not what the violins or the cellos are playing. But John's sitting there tapping his fingers, his head's bobbing along with the drummer, and he's humming along with the string players. Now, what's cool about this is that even though we're listening to the same song, I'm tuned into the lyrics, and John is tuned into all the instruments. As a conductor, you have to be tuned in to all the instruments and then some. So just a few days ago, John was reflecting on his musical gifts, and he began to look at the many, many stepping stones that had to be walked on to get to where he is today as maestro for music for transformation. To my ears, he was sharing a story of seeding and harvesting. He says the piano lessons I took began when I was 5 years old. Then I added clarinet, then bassoon, then saxophone. When I was in conservatory at the University of Michigan School of Music, I added many, many more instruments, then conducting. Along the way, I was given the gifts of time to support the band director in curating and selecting music, time to conduct the Boy Scout band, time at music camp at the Interlochen Music Academy. Time to pay attention, rehearse, and hone my musical talents. Time to witness many great conductors, including the great Eugene Ormandy, as I participated in an elite music program as a student in the Ann Arbor Public Schools. I was also given the gift of loving affirmation. When I was a student of conducting at the University of Michigan, I had an incredible teacher, Dr. Elizabeth Green, an astute professor who saw, affirmed, and nurtured my innate language, the language of music, and my gift for conducting. All of these gifts are seeds. They're seeds. The piano lessons, the clarinet and bassoon lessons, conducting the Boy Scout band, being part of an ensemble conducted by Ormandy, being seen and affirmed by a master conductor. All of these gifts are seeds. Seeds sown over many, many years. Seeds that were sown, planted, covered with soil, watered, and fed by many people in diverse contexts. And now, the harvest. The harvest has come. Now John has come full circle with his musical gifts, bringing them to the forefront. And he's combined them with his organizational gifts in this exciting venture called Music for Transformation. He says this is a unique, innovative learning experience that takes leaders and organizations out of the ordinary into the extraordinary, transporting them into the realm of revelation, imagination, and possibility. Wow. I just love that. Thank you. Thank you, John, for sharing your story with us. Maybe sometime in the coming months, we'll have a show that's focused exclusively on Music for Transformation. What an amazing harvest that would be. Would you like that? I sure would. John, thanks again for sharing your inspirational story with us. So, folks, that's it. You just heard a wonderful, glorious moment. Moments that celebrate good vibes. Moments that celebrate the music of our lives. Now, here's what's special. If I choose your quote or story, I may read it on the air. And if I do, that means that you qualify to receive free stuff. Each month, I'll also have a drawing and choose some of my listeners to receive the free stuff. Pretty simple, right? Last week we had a drawing, and what did the winners receive? Well, one of the free items I sent to the winners is a copy of my latest book called Flawless Leadership. I also included several other nifty things to use as stocking stuffers. I mean, this is the season, right? So you too can win a copy of my latest book, Flawless Leadership, Connecting Who You Are with What You Know and Do. And I'll also include other items that you can tuck away for later. Okay? Okay. Now be sure to send me your email for our December drawing. Send your email to me at gloriaburgess.com. That's Gloria at GloriaBurgess.com. In the subject line of your email, simply write these words, Glorious Moments. And in the body of your email, send me your all-time favorite inspirational quote or your all-time favorite inspirational story. I can't wait to see what you send me. Okay, let's take a deeper dive into today's topic, which is seeding and harvesting. Now, many of our listeners will be celebrating Christmas, a very special time of year, a time when we look forward to being with family and friends and other loved ones. Many people shop for presents during this time of year,